back to a brand new episode for today's little series, I guess. I don't know. We're checking out season 6, episode 4 of the Boulet Brothers Dragula. This is the Ghost Train episode. Oh, you guys, I'm excited for this one. Let's head over and check out what the Boulets gotta say for us in the haunted house.
All aboard, uglies! Tonight we're taking you on a journey you won't soon forget.
A ride where fear is the conductor and terror is the final destiny.
Okay, this isn't the first time we've done, Ghost Train. No, we had Ghost Train in season 4. They always do some kind of ghost challenge.
Our competitors are in for a real fright tonight, and they'll need nerves of steel to keep them on track.
But this is no ordinary ride.
I just want to know how they read their cue cards with those fogged out contacts. I know that those contacts are like a opaque kind of white, and then they have a bunch of little see-through holes in them, so it gives that all over coverage look, but it's gotta be hard.
Twist and turn will bring them one step closer to their nightmares.
Will they derail under pressure or stay on track to the bitter end?
See, it looks like they're leaning in so they can read. No shade.
Who knows? Remember, this journey has no refunds and no returns. It's a one-way ticket to terror.
So grab your seats and
I'm ready.
Hold on tight. The darkness is about to descend.
Welcome aboard. Next stop, your worst nightmares.
And time to enter the workroom. So, of course, everyone is discussing the chicken. It's kind of... I have a feeling it's going to be the joke of the season, is that damn chicken. I think they're all trying to process the trauma that they just experienced. Auntie also acting very much as mother of the room. I mean, it's kind of the role that has been assigned to her, but also the role that she very happily claims. And of course the queens are discussing who they think went home, who they think should have stayed, this and that. Pi wants to see the new Yuri, the revitalized Yuri from this extermination challenge, and I agree. I definitely think that it's going to light a spark inside of her. And while at the same time as Pi, Gray says that she wants to see Yuri actually believe in herself and see Yuri understand how great she actually is. And I love that support, the sisterly love. But also, Yuri is extremely polished. She knows how to give it and she knows how to bring it. It's just she was so in her head that I think it's only fair she's given another chance. This isn't like Titans. And Majesty thinks that it's the first show getting in Yuri's head, and they very quickly kind of start talking about their experience having been on a show before and then coming back. A little bit different because Drag Race is very different from Dragula. But I think she was just trying to relate to Yuri in that moment, and it gets kind of taken in a way. You'll see.
That I used to feel too. I already had such a fragile week the whole week. It was a lot. It does seem to be all about you.
Ooh. Now, listen, I find this conversation very interesting that this is getting brought up on this channel, but I think Auntie is doing just a tad bit of projection. In all honesty, I don't think James is trying to be as self-centered as they're being perceived to be. I think they're just in a very vulnerable, weak spot right now. And we'll see what this culminates to, but I don't fully agree. Yeah, James is absolutely full of themselves. I don't think it's in a nasty narcissistic way. Let's wait and watch. Let's see what the season has.
Definitely. Listen, I am done hearing Majesty talk about themselves. I don't care. I've dealt with enough narcissists in my life that I'm very keen to when I see it in other people. I want you to understand that every moment is not about you, and I just want you to know that you're gonna have to do a lot.
Everyone looks so uncomfortable. Like, I would be so thrown off from this conversation.
To prove that you actually are being genuine.
I don't think I'm being a fake person here at all.
I'm not saying that you're not real, but I'm seeing a lot of fake shit from you, so I want...
To be fair, that whole, like, someone said this about you, Aurora. Oh, but I don't know who. That was a little shady. A little shady.
To see something more from you.
I'm really sorry that you feel that way.
Just know...
I'm sorry that you feel that way. Oh, that's not a real... That's not a real apology.
That I am watching you, and I hope, for the sake of everybody that you interact with, that you are real.
And after all that, Yuri does return, yay. And James very quickly once again makes it about themselves. Oh my god. While all that's being said by Auntie though, Asia and James are not quite sure where this energy from Auntie is coming from. It's almost out of nowhere and almost seems a little hypocritical as well.
Especially since that bitch got her own self tattooed on her chest.
True.
I have a tattoo
True.
myself. It's my merch too, so if you like it on my chest, you can have it on yours too.
Right? Like... Girl, bold.
And I'm the narcissist. I have Cher on my chest.
Work, diva.
Rich.
I want, like, y'all know I'm not religious, but I want a religious piece that's kind of like, oh, this is gonna upset some people. I want, like, the classic crucifixion image, but I want it to be Reagan, you know, from The Exorcist. And Majesty does say that they are working on it. And, of course, you know, as we saw. But it's just, I think James is a very insecure person, and that's not a bad thing. I don't like to see another artist feel insecure about themselves and therefore their art. So I think it's just some personal kind of healing mostly that Majesty has to go through. I don't think they need to grow. I think they need to heal. I think that's their biggest thing. And then we very quickly get the introduction to the new challenge.
All aboard, uglies! For tonight's ghastly assignment, you must create and conceptualize new locomotive looks based on the theme of the Ghost Train. Whether you're a
I do always love the ghost challenges.
cadaverous conductor, an evil engineer,
Wait, there was one last season as well because Jarvis. Duh. How did I forget about that? It's been a minute since I watched season 5, you guys. Ooh, I'm gonna need to go back and watch it. Oh my god.
or a sacrilegious socialite with a one-way ticket to hell. Your job is to embody an original creepy character or phantasmal passenger who has been doomed to spend an eternity aboard our spectral steam engine. As a second part to tonight's challenge, you must break up into 3 groups of 3 and perform together as a terrifying trio while lip-syncing to our new song.
First group challenge. Now listen. Usually episode 5 is the Monsters of Rock. We better still be getting a Monsters of Rock challenge. That's all I'm going to say. It kind of is a shame though y'all did it before Desiree could do it. Like... Monsters of Rock is always the pivotal, drama-filled challenge, and it's usually always where there's a shift. Last kind of like argumentative or really problematic person is kicked out, and from there on, it's usually smoother sailing, like the whole Mary Cherry thing. Once she was gone, it was peace.
The Ghost Train. Which is streaming now on Spotify, Apple Music, and all major music platforms worldwide.
Get that coin.
Oh, and if that's not enough of a challenge, you'll also be performing and presenting your new looks on location in, you guessed it, an actual haunted train yard.
Okay, we are on location this year. I'm sorry. The Boulets are so, like, serious that when they're cutesy funny, it's really funny. Asia does tell us that she's very nervous to be working in a group. she has been winning on her own, and I think that's fair and very relatable that you're now worrying about having to rely on others, especially because, like, you might not think highly of some people's performance skills, and that's going to come into play at some point. I also thought the little moment with James and Auntie again was mean, but it was funny when James leans across the table and was like, maybe this is a moment for us to really get to know each other. And Auntie's just like, okay. Literally just crosses her arms and turns away. Oh my god, very cunty, but like also a little eye roll on James's part, being like, like, girl, not the person to kiss up to. So Israel brings in a bunch of trays of jewelry, and the queens are already foaming at the mouth.
Everybody is eyeing these jewels.
They're about to freaking pounce.
These bitches better not pick the one I want.
Are we about to fight over some jewels?
I thought,
Oh God.
All right, well, I really don't care which ones I get.
break some fingers, ladies.
I got it. I feel like I'm on the Discovery Channel and all the lions are going in hard.
Oh yes.
That's so weird. What the fuck?
How did I end up with a set? Yes.
Lo and behold, I snatched and ran, y'all. I got the jewels I wanted. Shing-a-ling-a-ling, bitches. Everybody.
I love Jaria. So after the little, snatch and grab, they start to split off and are trying to discuss how they're going to pick their teams. Pi initiates the conversation, as they do most of the time. Love ya. And is wondering how everyone is going to go about picking. Majesty wants Yuri really badly. Really, really badly. But Yuri isn't having it. Bless her soul. She was like trying to be so nice. And it really comes off as like no one wants to be in a group with Majesty, which I think it's more so the editing. It's just they got clips of Majesty going to every single group being like, so what are we going to do? And Majesty is just like, everyone wants to be on a group with me. Like, the delusion. I kind of love it. The winners are speculating if they should stick together. And I think that's a smart idea, but that also could be detrimental. Because what if all of the top contenders are in a group and then they're in the bottom? It could send out one of the major heavy hitters by accident. So, I don't know. I think dispersing yourselves is smart. Like, Pi and Asia, they were like, okay, let's not be in the same group. Let's stay separate. So, one, people don't speculate and think that we're in an alliance. But also, I think if one group does bad, then there's someone in the safety zone to at least help. You know what I mean? But the teams are James, Yuri, and Gray. Yuri says that they only got half of the people that they wanted. Kind of giving shade towards Majesty again. Then Auntie, Pi, and Jaharia. But Auntie does say that Pi being another camp queen could be trouble because she doesn't want to be competing for the camera, which, like, interesting, Auntie, that, yeah, you kind of just said to yourself there, like, I want to be the main center of attention, and she knows that if Pi's there, that's not going to happen. They're going to be pulling for the camera. And then the final group is Asia, Aurora, and Vivi. Asia really wanted Aurora, while Auntie really wanted Jaharia. So that's why they ended up splitting up at the end. Originally, by how Asia wanted it, it would have been Asia, Aurora, Auntie. But Auntie wanted it to be Auntie, Jaharia, Asia. So that's where that gets mixed up. So the queens are practicing their performances, working on the choreo and just kind of like the overall vibe of their characters. James is telling everyone how to walk. Then working on their looks. I'm very interested in Asia's color story with the flames specifically. I was very excited to hear this concept. You'll see, not necessarily the biggest fan of how it was pulled off, but I think she was like going somewhere with it. And also just a lot of very like blue tones, it's giving bitter Betty. I know Betty isn't the first person to do like that monochromatic blue ghostly look. I know. But she's probably the best one to have done it on Dragula since that episode. So I give that to her. And Aurora is super excited to finally get to show some glamour. And I mean, hey, I am too. If that's what she's all about, let's see it. Yuri absolutely reading all of the blue girls, saying like, there's a lot of blue in here. Fair, there was a lot of blue. It kind of worked, I guess, if everyone's doing that color scheme. But it was like a bit much that everyone's blue. Asia brings up the whole kind of confrontation, I guess, between Majesty and Auntie. And Majesty just explains that they feel really lost in the competition and wants to thank Auntie as well for checking her and kind of bringing her back in a bit. I think that helped a little, but I also think this is kind of what pushes Majesty in a certain direction. I don't want to give any spoilers, but this is going to culminate in more in the next episode. Even after James's kind of like not apology / like thanking Auntie continues to call out James, saying that they are too worried about everyone else's perception of them and how she's being nice to some people and shady to others. I get that, but also like, is it necessarily the time and place? I don't know. So, day of the floor show. The Boulets look so good this episode, you guys. Let's check it out. Wow. Okay. Oh, the mini bangs. Is that what those are? Yeah. Ozempic queen? She looks so snatched. Perfect. Now the little Boulay, a little fun fact about that one. Hairy. Hairy as fuck. You wouldn't be able to tell though. They're so con. I'm sorry. Wow. Swan looks snatched. I hope that when we say like big boule, little boule, doesn't take it as like big boule. We don't mean it like that. You're just tall. The judges for this week are Season 3 winner Landon Sider, the first and only ever drag king to win Dragula. I'm surprised. Like, listen, I know that there are non-binary queens, there are trans queens, I get that. Where's the AFAB performers? Not to be like, where's the token, but like, there's usually at least one or two per season, and I'm surprised that we don't have any AFAB performers this year. Just what I'm noticing. And then the other judge is Justin Simeon, writer and director. And now, guys, let's head on over and check out the floor show looks. Alrighty, you guys. So, up now we have Aurora. Is this a necessarily groundbreakingly new look? No, not by any means. Is it done extremely well? Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. Clean, polish. I mean, the girlie said, you want glamour? Okay. And she gave it. I mean, it's good, girl. It's good. And the fine details, it's just high drag. Yuri. Okay. Now, I think once you take into consideration the fact that she made this dress, gorgeous. My only issue with it is I can't necessarily tell just from looking at it how she died. The performance definitely fed into it more. It's gorgeous. It's also a different time period than a lot of other queens gave. So I'm here for it. It's kind of like westward expansion chic. All right, now we have Pie, very camp. We knew that Pie was going to do something. Although I want to know how the hell she flew those train tracks from Philly. Girl, what? I think the hair is interesting. Definitely pushes it into a different time period than most of the other queens. Maybe that wasn't as helpful in the group challenge because they were literally all different time periods. But I enjoy it. It's cute. Very blue. There's a lot of blue this season, you guys. Okay, Auntie. Now, it's a bit different. It's a bit different for Auntie. Very polished, as always. Very spooky. But it has a very unique feel to it. I really enjoy this one. But I will say, where's the death? How did you die? That's my only issue. All right, Asia. Now, I think it should have been like a mermaid dress. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I get the concept. I don't know as though the execution is necessarily there for me. At first look, I don't know as though the story is necessarily right away Ghost Train, but that's just me. I still love it. It's still gorgeous. And the blue fire, it's a great idea, and I think it's executed well in some areas, but what's throwing me off is the legs. Now, gray matter. Listen, the versatility, great. Great job. But it's too basic. I'm sorry. It's too basic. I mean, it's scary, yes, but that mixed with the just kind of lackluster performance, it really wasn't Grey's week. And that's so unfortunate because y'all know I love Grey Matter. Now, Miss Majesty, gorgeous look, very chic. My issue is it giving Ghost? Not really. Is it giving how you died? Not from first glance. It wasn't until later in the performance, where we saw the knives. So it was a good reveal. It's just, I don't know if it was done quickly enough or there's just still no ghostliness to it, I guess. All right, Vivi. Now, it's a little messy in my opinion. I think it gets a little bit more props than Pies because we can at least see she is supposed to be tied to the train tracks also, but we can see she's got some guts and whatnot. So we see how she died. She was steamed right in half. Now, Jaharia, I'm not gonna lie, I loved this look. I really loved the Kennedy Davenport of it all. The moves, the hopping around, it was just so good and really took this concept into a different direction than all the other girls did, which I appreciate that. Once again, don't really get the idea of how they died, but I thought it was funny. Now, in the little pre-judging clip that we get of just the Boulets talking, they're just kind of gushing about their love for the ghost challenges that they do. And it might not be always Ghost Train, but there's usually always a ghost challenge. Jaharia, Pai, and Auntie, they thought were super synchronized, loved their looks and their performance as a group together because it was a lip sync. So Majesty, Yuri, and Grey's group, they thought they had a great location right on the front of the train, but they didn't connect as performers together. Swan always loves to say that they were 3 planets just kind of orbiting around, not really interacting with each other. They say that all the time for these group performance challenges, but that was very much the case. It felt really disconnected. But out of that group, they really loved Yuri.
We're so excited. Something happened. I mean, I guess jumping out of a plane really does it. It really, there's definitely some method
I mean, hey.
to this madness.
Light a fire. Talk about that. You don't want to be in the bottom again.
That we've created.
And then for Asia, they thought that her outfit didn't seem to match the challenge, which I think that was maybe more so of just you don't quite get it as quickly as the other ones. But when she explains it, it makes complete sense, But they thought she nailed the lip sync. So that's good. And then Vivi, they thought it was just very unfocused. And they did say it was a hot mess, which That's really unfortunate to hear. So, judging for this week, Majesty, Jaharia, and Asia are all the safe queens. And then the others get their critiques from the judges. Auntie, they loved the amount of details that she had and basically just pulling out different kind of tricks and whatnot each verse. And that really kind of added a, ooh, what's next to the performance. They also thought it was well thought out, but not sure how she died. And basically just praising them for having such a strong group. Pie, they thought, great ghostly approach. Someone's going to get clocked by the freaking train tracks on her. But the judges said that they weren't really sure how she died, though. I mean, she was placed on the tracks, duh, but there was no physical indication of the train, and I think that's more so what they were getting at, whereas at least Vivi's had indication like she was ran through by a train. So Vivi, they thought the look was confusing at first. Also, train tracks, which it's hard, you're always going to get judged compared to the other person with the same look concept. They also thought that the back of her costume lacked detail. They don't show it at all, but they said her entire back wasn't painted, and my jaw dropped when I heard that. I was like, how are you going to do that? Your back's not painted, girl. And they just felt like she was very unfocused, and that's really unfortunate to hear. Aurora, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Playing to her strengths, absolute high glam, high drag. They could not get enough of Aurora tonight. Yuri, they thought, really came alive. Great craftsmanship in hand making her gown. And they also thought that she really took the feedback that they had for her and grew from it. Auntie, on the other hand, is being very shady, and she's like, I don't know why, like, they're praising her. I don't agree at all. Whatever, girl, whatever. Gray, they thought, had great masculine energy, but it looked too much like a haunt actor. And that's shade, okay? Because we know Gray is a haunt actor. But it came from one of the guest judges, so they had no idea that Gray comes from the haunt world. And basically, yeah, they said it wasn't drag. Like, it just lacked that extra step, you know? They also thought that it was a low energy lip sync, but Vivi did say like she looked like a character from a Rob Zombie movie. Spot freaking on. Oh my god. Yeah, 1000%. You could see that character from Grey in a Rob Zombie movie. So, out of that group, Auntie, Pie, and Yuri are safe. Grey Matter and Vivi, the Force, are on the bottom. And Aurora Gosmic is the winner. This is her first win, and it really solidifies her, you know, as like a contender. Maybe some people didn't look at her as that before, but now I think it's changing. She gets a custom set from Fierce Drag Jewels, which if you watch Drag Race, you know who they are. And then the extermination this week is the Tesla Coil of Turmoil. Oh, it just sounds painful. Basically, electrocution. They got a hold on for dear freaking life. Which, it doesn't sound enjoyable. It absolutely does not. I wouldn't want to do that. The girls had to have pissed themselves, right? Right, they definitely did. Heading on into the cauldron. Asia feels very conflicted to be safe. I think this is one of the downfalls of being a top winner right in the very beginning and so quickly in the beginning, is that if you don't continue that upward trajectory, then you're either going to stagnate or start to decline. And we haven't seen her decline. She hasn't been in the bottom, but it's a little worrying. You know, I would love to see Asia remain consistently at the top. Majesty also thought they'd be in the top, which, bold, girl, bold. Majesty is very high concept with their looks and whatnot, and that's all right. But sometimes, like, you just gotta read the room. Aurora seems to think that Auntie is real bitter about Aurora winning, which I could see that. I think we're seeing a different side of Auntie come out in this episode, which is interesting. And we're not, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but like someone that would have possibly been like a good retaliating force against Auntie is going to be gone in the next episode. So, The Last Supper, it better be freaking good this year. Heading over to the bottom two, Gray is, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. He heard a dog barking outside. You're fine, Bubbas. Gray is just so defeated right now, and it's really sad to see. I hate seeing any of them get down about themselves, but like just when you see them like curling up and getting in their heads, it breaks your heart. Vivi also shares a story about getting shot by a rubber bullet during a Black Lives Matter protest. It sounds terrifying, also sounds extremely painful, but, and this isn't a butt to Vivi, this is a butt to the production. You're fine. Stop. Stop. You're fine. I think it feels like production had a hand in this moment happening. I think they were probably forecasting that Vivi was the one to go. And it's a Drag Race tactic, and it's kind of a cliche now in Drag Race that if, when they're getting ready or they're in Untucked, if one of the queens shares a heart-wrenching, like, traumatic story, that usually means they're about to leave. Because you want to get their story out there and then send them off. So, it felt like a production pull, in my opinion, but that's just me. And Gray, during all of this, is just completely shutting down. Like, you've never seen them like that, and I hope we don't see them like that again. Like I said, I don't like to see these artists get down about their art like that. While all that is happening, of course, Majesty is having her own moment in true Majesty fashion. But it's with Asia, and Asia's just trying to comfort her because Majesty also doesn't like their position, and also says that if she could volunteer, she would. Interesting. We've heard queens say that in the past, and then they don't hold up. So we'll see. You know, it's kind of, once again, a cliche of like, oh, I just wish both of you could stay. Okay, so then leave so that they can, right? Usually no one goes through with it, though. And we are off quickly to the extermination.
The extermination is the Tesla coil, and they are about to electrocute me.
Honestly, hold on till you piss yourself, dude. Like, what?
It's fucking terrifying. There's zappings, there's beeps, there's all this fucking commotion. I'm fucking scared. I've never been zapped before. I have to put my hands up against this thing. There is no escape.
The back wall is moving, fucking ceiling is coming down on me, and I'm freaking the fuck out.
The walls moving in would be like very claustrophobic. Although, when I was little, there was a farm across the street from the house where I took swimming lessons, and I would always go over afterwards and touch the electric fence. Gave you a good little... The literal, like, seeing the bolts reach your fingertips, though, would... Oh, I'd be like,
Fingers are burning, my side is burning, my legs are burning. I can feel electricity all throughout my body, but I'm not gonna go home. I'm gonna hold on to this bar as long as I fucking can.
Every shock I'm getting...
Gray, you better hold the hell on. She looks terrifying. What the fuck?
is a reminder of how bad I want to stay here. I just have to remember that pain is temporary and all I have to do is outlast Vivi.
Honestly, same.
I don't know how long I can hold on to this thing for. It started
It's like they're actually being cooked.
to really hurt. In the back of my mind, I'm just hoping that Gray lets go of the thing so I can stay.
She better not.
All my holes are tingling, my fingers fucking hurt. And how do people enjoy this? Electricity is definitely not a new kink of mine.
Gray has to go home this week. I
To be fair, it's usually not an entire ass Tesla coil.
didn't come this far to be beaten by some haunt actor. I do this shit for a living.
Shade, bitch.
I'm a drag queen.
Shade.
I'm in so much pain right now. My fingers are killing me, but I cannot go home. What I bring is a new facet to the Dragula world, and I'm excited and eager to show what I have, and I will be back next week.
Bitch, you better. You better. Now, we don't get an elimination scene this week. They panned into the room where, you know, the shocking happened, and there was just a skeleton there strung up to the cage. So we have no idea who ended up leaving. Like, it feels so production-like, but there's a reason why we don't find out. But, it's like they knew we'd be sitting on the edge of our seats to know if Gray stays or not. But yeah, so that's episode 4, you guys. I'm very excited for this next one. They are doing a musical. A Dragula musical? Oh, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But I want to know your thoughts about this episode, guys. Let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe, all that. Hope you have a wonderful, spooky rest of your day. And I will catch you in the next one. Take care.